New York's recognized.
I thank the distinguished ranking member. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in opposition to H.R. 3941, which is an inhumane, xenophobic messaging bill that seeks to punish the local governments who are welcoming and supporting migrants arriving from collapsing authoritarian governments to pursue their American dream. I come from New York City, which has embraced, housed, fed, vaccinated, and supported more than 80,000 migrants in the past year in the finest traditions of the home of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, where my grandmother arrived in this country. We in New York City are incredibly proud of being what my distinguished colleague from New York refers to as a sanctuary city. I wish all of America could be a sanctuary country that in the finest traditions of welcoming immigrants to our shores. In the past year, there has not been a single violent incident at any of the nearly 200 shelters housing newly arrived migrants in New York City. Not one. You tell me another community of 80,000 people where there's not a single violent incident. I challenge everyone. It is a remarkable feat, and it demonstrates these individuals' basic desire to come and settle in this country and escape regimes that are cratering in Central and Latin America. Despite the excessive burdens on the city's infrastructure and budget, many of the counties represented by the Republican sponsors of this bill have refused to accept migrants. And now they're trying to make it even harder to temporarily house migrants around the state in places that are empty for the summer. This is simply another attempt by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to demonize immigrants seeking a better life in this country, a continuation of the effort to sow fear, division, and hate around the country. My colleague from New York is right. We are in desperate need of immigration reform so that we can streamline and modernize our immigration system, boost our economy, and secure our borders. But instead of using their majority to address our broken immigration system, Republicans are putting a meaningless and useless bill designed to scapegoat immigrants instead of solving our problems. And if my colleagues on the other side of the aisle truly wanted to address the influx of migrants into our communities, they would work with us to alleviate the financial strain on cities all around the country. And they would come together with us to allow these migrants to work legally, which would not only allow them to support their families, but would help businesses in desperate need of labor from a workforce shortage, would boost our economy, and of course would have the benefit of helping our local governments.
Gentleman's recognized for another minute.
Thank you. This bill is not about protecting schools or children. It's the summertime, and the schools are mostly empty. If Republicans truly wanted to protect our schools and our children, they would instead focus on cracking down on rampant gun violence in our schools. Just this year, there have been 20 school shootings, and gun violence is now the leading cause of death of children in America. Parents are not worried about migrants in schools during the summer. Parents are worried that their children won't come home from school. But Republicans instead do nothing to keep our children safe at school. My friends, you can put lipstick on a pig, but dressing up your anti-immigrant xenophobia by invoking our schools does not change the fact that this bill is, in fact, covered by mud. I urge my colleagues to vote against this harmful bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman